Welcome everyone to the show. We're just giving it a couple of minutes here so all the notifications go out and everyone has a chance to join. But what's going on? And if you were the lucky few, I was activating this past weekend. So got 20 to 30 of y'all. It was fun. It was fun. And let's go ahead and get started. Let me turn down the mic first. I think y'all appreciate that. What is going on, y'all? I'm Frank, KG5AHJ, and welcome by the channel. We got a great show coming up. But first, you know what time it is. Let's go ahead and play that awesome intro video. With no mic. There it is. I'm unmuted. And the volume's back to where it is. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back. It's been a while since my last stream. We've just been so busy and we've been having a great time. I've been on the road traveling and yep, I'm muted. I'm muted. It should be good now. I've been on the traveling a lot, and we're going to be talking about that. I got some great co-hosts coming on stream, and thank you both for stepping in. Let's go ahead and bring them on. Where did it go? I'm just out of practice. Jason, Steve, how y'all doing? Howdy.
What's up?
Hi. Thanks for joining. Scott had a last minute conflict that came up, and Jason and Steve said they'll be nice enough to come on in and help me with the stream. So thank y'all for joining. I did forget to go over real fast. Patreons, I did thank y'all. Buy Me a Beer is active right now. There's also the super chats. And the audio podcasts are available for any podcaster app that's out there. So search Tank Radio and you'll find me, plus the good old coins still being sold. I like to sell a couple more of those. All right. Man, what happened? It's almost the end of February already. We were talking
Yes,
about this on my Tank Commander stream, and February just flew by.
it did.
Jeez.
Yep. I
Um,
haven't been home. I haven't been home for most of the month.
well, someone has a nice fancy beach house they can just escape to.
Well,
Well,
Yeah, because Jason's fleeing the winter.
partially, yeah.
yep. What's the weather like down there?
Oh man, it was clear, sunny, and about 75 today. It might have even been in the low 80s. I didn't really look, but it was nice
Yeah.
and warm. So really nice. But probably the best day of weather we've had since I've been down here.
Nice. So you did come up. We'll talk about that later. But we were at Fairfield State Park,
Yeah.
and man, it was kind of cold.
It was cold there. I mean, it was cool there. It was about 48 degrees, I think. So
It was high, low 40s, low 40s.
I didn't think it was low 40s. Maybe it was. I don't know.
Yeah. But we had a fun time. I did not smoke a cigar though. I wanted to smoke a cigar and I never
did-
got around to it
Yeah.
either. It's just time I've kind of finished let's just go into it. We went to Fairfield State Park. It is for the last activation weekend. They're going to close the state park. And me and Jason went down and activated it. And
Mhm.
I was trying to do also an antenna build out there. And I failed. I didn't build it. It it I cut the first element. I'm using the pack 10 of 49 to 1 as for my NFED kit that I built. And when I plugged the first element into it, and I put the antenna analyzer, the rig expert, onto it, I did a reading accidentally at first. I was like, man, this is like a 9 to 9. I'm not a 9. It was a 1.04. Like, this is amazing. Right out of the bat. I'm just ecstatic, excited. Then I looked up and it said it was 10 meters. What?
Okay.
This was supposed to be a 17-meter element.
Oh, well, okay.
It's
So you
like,
just keep adding wire to it then.
that's it was supposed to be cut for 17. I was like, why is it resonant here? And I had an extension
Weird.
wire to the antennalyzer, and I took that off and plugged into it. Then it went up to a 5 to 1. I was like, how is this working? Something's not quite right. I went up to 17. The 17 gave me a 9 to 1. Then it dropped to a 4 to 1. Then it came up to a 6. And I was just, and these are just consecutive readings. I just hit and go on the Rick Expert. Go. Do it again. Do it again. And it was just kind of random. So I was like, something's not right here. The adapter that I was using, the BNC to P259, I don't like that adapter. I gotten weird readings off of it before, and that was the only one I had at the time. Plus, I think the kit was a little bit loose. So I was going to come back and tighten it down. And there's one part where I think 2 wires were touching, so I'm going to do some tape to electrical tape so they don't touch. So we'll try it again. Well, I don't know when. A couple of weeks, because we're going to be busy.
Well, I mean, at least you remembered to bring it, because I was going to bring my car antenna, Steve, and my K6ARK 100-watt infed half wave. I was going to bring those with me on this Galveston trip and build and tune both of those. Well, tune both of those. They're both built. I was going to add some wire and tune both of those, and I forgot they're sitting in my shack, both of them. So, yeah, probably next. Well, I'm not going to wait till next trip, so I'll probably do that. I don't know. After I get home, I'll probably do that next month, sometime in March.
You could do it on the beach, man. You got the perfect ground plane there.
That's why I want to do it. That's why I wanted to bring them here. Yeah, but they're at home.
Oh, they're at home.
They're in
I thought
Grapevine.
you left them at the Galveston house when you came up to Fairfield.
No, I packed a bunch of stuff to bring with me to Galveston a week and a half ago when we got here. And I left those 2 things in my shack at home. So I've got my pack antenna that Mike built for me. I've got my spark plug gear antenna, which I took that out of the bag to work. I activated Galveston Island State Park Tuesday through Friday this week.
Nice.
4 days in a row. So
just
one of the days,
your 5-day goal.
Yeah, I didn't do it on Monday because it was crowded. Like, no, Monday was President's Day, and I'm like, okay, there'll be a few people there. It was awfully crowded, and I'm like, I don't know. I like to be a recluse when I activate. I don't mind if when I set up. I like to set up kind of by myself. When people come in after that, it doesn't bother me. But I'm not going to set up in the middle of a crowd. There's a bunch of people out there at my normal spot fishing, and they had camping stuff, or not camping, but like fishing tackle and picnic stuff set out. And I'm like, I'm not going to set up in the middle of these guys right here. So, so I just skipped Monday, and the weather sucked anyway. So, but yeah, my spark plug gear antenna, the ring terminal fell off. It came loose off the other end, so I got to repair that, which is easy. So I used the pack antenna and the Impasse 2.0 for all 4 of my activations this week. So it worked out fine, but I was looking forward to tuning that car antenna though.
What does the car antenna come with? Is it a long wire and you got to clip it down to resonance?
It depends on which one you get. There are 2. There's a 49 to 1 end-fed half wave, so you get the toroid, the magnet wire to wind it with. You get our nylon frame, which is like the pièce de résistance, and then you get the wire for the counterpoise and the wire for the antenna itself. And the other one is a linked dipole, so you get the same nylon frame, you get the wire, and I think it does up to 40, and then you can link it however you want. So if you wanted like 6, 12, 30, and 40, you could do that, or if you wanted 10, 12, 15, and 17, you could do that. It's your choice.
Nice.
Cool. Yeah, I got the infant half wave, so I'm planning on cutting it for 40.
Yeah, and then you can find those on coffeeandhamradios.com.
Go ahead and drop that link, Steve.
I will.
Yeah.
I have that blue wrench thing.
And yeah, I was doing a link dipole. I had the measurements all done with the last video I did. I was going to cut a 17 meters, a 20 meter, and a 40 meter elements, and I had it all math done. I cut the first one, and it just was too weird, so I was decided not to do it. And then I was just going to activate, and geez, man, I was jealous. That first contact, you turned on the radio and you just laughed. It was a England station coming in yesterday. You just turned on the radio right at 17 and he was just right there. You're like, what?
Yeah, that happens too. I mean, Scout 75 and I did that on a POTA activation. We turned the radio on and Russia was just booming right in, and he got him, and then I didn't. It sucked.
That's funny. That's funny. The other big thing, backtracking a little bit, going back further, was Hamcation. That was a blast seeing everybody. Hanging out with all of y'all and all the tankers out there who swung by and stopped me and said hello. It was fun. I really, really enjoyed it. And one thing,
fun show.
Yeah, I am opening up some habanero whiskey.
Habanero whiskey, really?
Yes.
Oh boy.
It's mango habanero whiskey.
Depending how this tastes, I might do super chats for it, but
if it's that bad.
Yeah.
If it's that bad, yeah.
This was a Christmas present, but
somebody didn't like you?
Well, it was that, and it was packed in underwear.
It was the last pick on a white elephant party for at his work.
That's too sweet.
Yeah, it said mango.
Ooh.
Is it mango? I saw habanero. I didn't see mango.
Mango habanero.
Oh yeah.
Is there any spice at all to it?
Yeah. It's right up front. It just hits you. All right, let's see if I can do a good tasting here.
Huh.
Swirl it around a little bit. Smell it.
Do the whiskey. Oh, don't do that. It just aerated it in the back of the throat.
Oh god.
Oh.
Always something.
That might just be a super chat for a shot.
Well, you're gonna get drunk, Frank.
Well, I limit it to 3.
No limits.
Oh,
Jason and I are here. The only thing we can't do is turn the stream off for you.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Frank will be laying on the floor. Jason and I will be gone.
That's right.
That'd be perfect.
Oh,
that's right.
Wow.
Tomorrow morning you can wake up and complain about your liver. It will all still be here.
That's special. It'll be a 9-hour stream. Frank passed out, sleeping.
Yep.
Hamcation, though, it was very good. One thing we were talking about during the Tank Commander meeting was Barb's R-Finder satellite tracker that he's building, the rotator that pairs up with the R-Finder, and also it will pair up to any Android phone that he's working to do, and it will track the satellite across the sky for you. And I think along with then, if you use the R-Finder app on the R-Finder phone, it will help you program it and do the frequency shifting as it comes by. I was like, oh, that was so cool.
Yeah, it'll be one-click programming on the B1 for the satellite. So so he's I don't know if you guys watched where on my video that I recorded with him. There he's got his directory right now. He calls the worldwide repeater directory. Worldwide repeater directory. He says once he gets all the satellites put into it, he's going to change the name to the intergalactic repeater directory. So
he did say that.
Yeah. So you'll be able to say AO95 or whatever the satellite is, and then click. It'll program the phone, and then the sat tracker will just follow it, and you'll be able to key it up. Uplink, downlink, UHF, VHF, however it works. It'll all be right there for you.
762. This is for you.
Yeah. The B1 is full duplex.
It is not full duplex, but it will transmit and receive on separate bands. So you can transmit on VHF and receive on UHF or vice versa, but you can't hear yourself when you're transmitting.
Yourself. Okay.
Right. So that was a question that came up around the campsite in Hamcation like the day before, like Friday night or something, and I'm like, you know what? That's a good question. So I went and talked to Bob about that. Yeah, you can easily have another radio sitting right there next to you, monitoring the downlink frequency.
Mhm.
But yeah, the unit itself is not full duplexing.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah, maybe something for a future expansion. When he
Mhm.
designed this one, he wasn't thinking about satellites at all. So this is something that's recently come about, and it's a really cool idea to do stuff like that. So he's getting real innovative with it. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, but is that that's a limitation on the R finder itself? It's not full duplexing, period. Just on a
Correct.
normal radio.
Correct.
Mhm. But if you're just using it for the satellite tracking on a Android, you just tell it what the satellite is, and it just helps you and go, "Moo," and it'll just point the whole time looking
Well,
at the satellite. And I think you got to
right.
shift it on the radio.
Yeah. Well, then, like, let's say you got a D72, which is full duplexing. Okay.
Mhm.
So if you have an RFinder app on your Android or iPhone, and you Bluetooth it to his sat tracker, then you just say, I want to work this satellite, and it'll go and it'll start following it. And then you have your D72 plugged into the antenna, and you can key up, and it's full duplexing. But if you don't have the D72 or don't have another radio, you have an RFinder B1, instead of keying up a second radio, it'll all be done from the B1. So you'll be able to key that up in that way. So so you can do it, and and you could even do it with the B1 and with a full duplexing radio if you'd rather do it that way. So there's several options there. But yeah, the tracker is an Azel rotor, and it will follow the satellite, from basically horizon to horizon, depending on where it's moving. So it's going to be a cool toy to play with for sure.
And Steve, did you swing by and talk to the ICOM guys about their new radio that they were showing off, the IC 905? I want to say 705, but it's the 905.
Yeah, it's like 3 or 4 times better. No, I did not. I went over and talked to Will at ICOM about the 705 because I'm working on a special adapter cable for it, and they didn't have any information for me.
Oh,
so I'm still working. I still got to play around, but we'll get there. Because you start off with a project where you have no clue what you're doing, and then they always end well.
Yes, well, that's a fun.
Really, see, most of the time it's opposite of that for me. I know exactly what I'm doing right up until the point where I don't, and then it doesn't end well. So that's usually how it goes for me.
So what's your thoughts on it, Jason?
I think the 905 is going to be, it's a niche radio. It's a niche. It's not for everybody. It's not going to be cheap. They didn't tell us. Yeah, they didn't tell us what the price was going to be. However, we had some speculation, but nobody could confirm anything. Anybody who's into that microwave world has probably already spent that type of money on their radio setup, or they have budgeted and they're saving up to spend that type of money on a radio project. So it's not like you got a bunch of satellite radio, or microwave 2 and 5 gigahertz radios out there today that are in the $500 range, and this one's going to be $2,000. Everything that you would build yourself with all the stuff you got to have, and all the transverters and the dish and the big huge coax and the antennas and everything, it's just it gets pricey. And there's a lot of equipment to build your own station. So the 905 is going to be in that ballpark, but it'll make it it's like a one-stop shop. So you have to buy the antenna, obviously, but for the radio you don't have to have a transverter, you don't have to have all this other stuff, and it will be a little bit a quicker path to getting that done. But microwave guys, they're not Baofeng guys. I just put it that way. They're not. There's a totally different set of hams working. Well, driving up to the top of a hill and trying to make a 5 gigahertz sideband or FT8 contact. These are not Baofeng guys doing that. I'll just put it that way.
It's interesting. I kind of liked how they had the head unit, and then there was a digital cable. They reinforced a weathered Ethernet cable. It comes with the kit that you can run, and this unit is meant to be put outside by your transmitting station. or by your antenna. So it'd be the transmitter. So
Mhm.
you can run everything inside. So it minimize your losses. And that's very important when you're starting to start to talk about on the 10 gigahertz range, because
Right.
you have a lot of losses through cable and coax. And
Mhm.
that was pretty cool. Um, I kind of want to play on the gigahertz. That sounds
Mhm.
fun to me.
Yeah, a lot of fun. Yeah. But I mean, make sure you already know somebody on the other side.
Yeah,
Right. Right. Right.
yeah.
I am looking forward to. I'm looking forward to that as well. But more than that, I'm looking forward to doing some amateur television on it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have wanted to do amateur television since I got my license back in the mid 90s, and I've never done amateur television, either analog or digital. So I'm looking for it, and since it does natively on the screen, you can just plug it into an ATV, and if you can hit an ATV repeater, then you can send images back and forth with another
Mhm.
station.
An ATV repeater.
hmm
And just to be clear, this is
Amateur.
not SSTV. This is live motion video.
Correct. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fast,
Amateur.
Is it fast scan or just?
No,
No.
it's different than that. So
Okay.
so fast scan, slow scan is basically sending images over the air.
Yeah.
Um,
This is really
amateur
low res video.
amateur television is very low res video conferencing. So in other words, hams were doing video conferencing long before Zoom ever existed.
Remember
So-
back when hams used to innovate stuff? Whatever
Yeah.
happened to those guys?
Yeah, exactly.
We still.
They died when GeoCities died.
If you ever if you ever look at if you ever go to next time you go to Hamvention, or if you want to look on my channel, or just look on on YouTube, look up Mel Whitten, MELWHITTEN. He does talks on digital amateur television.
Mhm.
I forget his call sign, but if you just search YouTube for his name, he does talks on digital amateur television, and I'm telling you what, other than it being a 4:3 image, it looks like a Zoom session. It looks freaking awesome.
Mhm.
But you got to have repeaters that repeat and transmit that sort of data. Usually, I think they're usually on the 440 band.
That's like wide FM. That's like 25 kilohertz.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I don't remember if it's 25, but it is wide, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's not 3 kilohertz. It won't work over HF.
No.
But when we were
So-
at Quartz Fest, they were transmitting all their talks at the main fire circle on amateur TV.
Were they really?
Yes. They had a camera set up and the mic that they were passing back and forth, and the camera was transmitting over amateur TV. And if we had a
didn't-
receiver, we could have picked it up and just recorded that and stayed at camp.
That would have been fun. I didn't realize they were doing that. I didn't go see any of the talks at Quartz Fest. So interesting.
You
huh?
missed out, man. There was a lot of good talks.
There's a lot of stuff going on in Quartz Fest.
Yeah, there was.
The video that I got just exploded. It was the Quartz Fest antenna walk. That got a lot of views. It's still getting a lot of views.
Good.
Quartz Fest overall, it was fun. I enjoyed going there. I don't think I'll be back next year.
Yeah.
It was a fun place to go, hang out, and learn a bunch of things. But in between the talks, you were just kind of sitting at your own camp. At least that's the impression I got. I heard it was small compared to other years, though.
Yeah, that's what they were saying. But 3 reasons I won't be back next year. I will go back to Quartz
The top
Fest, but
3.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm not gonna go back
Number one.
next year. Number 1 is Winter Field Day. It ends on Winter Field Day weekend, and I really missed doing Winter Field Day this year. So if nothing else, Winter Field Day, I would not go to Quartz Fest every year, or at least if I did go, I wouldn't stay the whole time because I want to operate Winter Field Day.
Number 2.
The number 2 is really the drive, the distance.
It is a long way, especially for me.
Yeah,
Mhm.
be farther for you than me.
That's like
but-
3 days.
Right. I took 3 days to get there, but I took my time on purpose. And if I hadn't done that, then I might have been able to drive to Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
And next year, I'm thinking about driving to Orlando. So I'm not
Ooh.
driving to Arizona, then coming home, and then a week
Yeah.
later driving to freaking Orlando. So
Mhm.
That was my problem because you have Quartz Fest, then you have the Yuma Ham Fest, then you have Quartz Fest, Hamcation, then Yuma. So it's over and back and over and back.
Mm-hmm.
That's a
So,
long. That's a lot
so
of
they
driving.
were that they said that people at Quartz Fest were saying that Yuma has been canceled
It was
permanently.
permanently.
So
Ooh,
that's what they said. They said that they're not bringing it back.
weird. That was a
Breaking
good show.
news.
I like the way they set that one up.
I heard good things about it. I never got to attend it. So
Yeah, because everybody from Quartz Fest went to Yuma. So I saw the same people at Yuma. And then Yuma had this humongous prize giveaway. People were buying like 5,000 tickets because you could win a 101
wow.
MP. You could win a 9700. You could win a 705. I mean, you could win some really like high quality stuff.
hmm
Here,
So
breaking
they had
news.
like a
Red is confirming no more Yuma.
Yeah.
oh, that
Yeah, that's
sucks.
what they were saying because a couple of the Arizona guys were like, well, what are we going to do for our section? Apparently, Yuma was the ARRL Arizona section convention, I think, if I have that
Yeah.
right. They're like, well, where's that going to be? Oh, no. So
Lex was there last year.
Oh,
were they? Okay.
Yeah. And then they have this really interesting setup in the swap meet. You could get your own table, but if you only had like one thing that you wanted to move, they had an area where the Hamfest coordinators would police the consignment type deal. You just set something there at the table and you set a price and then you set your lowest price. So like Friday it was $100, Saturday it was $100, and Sunday at noon when the show closed, it was like my bottom price is $20. I don't want this thing back, you know. And they'll just take anything down to, you know, the floor of $20.
that's kind of cool. So you don't
So I
have to
got some
sit at your
cool stuff
table
there.
anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you did, like if you're only doing one thing, why get a whole table?
Yeah.
Right.
I like that idea.
I mean, you wound up getting some small, like somebody put up one ham stick, you know, like perfect. I don't want to get a whole table to get rid of one ham stick, but I don't want the ham. I mean, I like ham sticks.
Right.
You're wrong.
Yeah.
There's one right there. But ham sticks.
Yeah.
Actually, there's two right there. Ham sticks are, you know, a thing that you don't sell at a table. What are they, like $60 brand new?
Not even that. They're like 25.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not expensive.
So I saw in the chat earlier several people, mostly it was Evan, asking, are we going to the Houston Hamfest? And
Houston.
the answer is yes.
We
We'll be there. I'll be there Friday for most of the day. And Saturday, I guess until they close and kick us out at 2, 3. What was that weird time?
I think it's 3.
3,
I think
yeah.
it's 3. I think it's 3 on Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't imagine that we will have. What we should do is leave a couple hours early and just go find a POTA somewhere. So I don't know.
Yep.
But yeah, it's it's like 8. It's like 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Friday. I can't imagine we're going to stay there until 8 p.m. that night. But we'll be there both days. Yeah, I'll be there both days. So
I'll be there. You did give me an idea, and I really like this when we were talking at the POTA park. Getting a cable for POTA. I have the 25-foot buddy pole extension cable with the 2 B and C ends on it, and I really love this cable because when you're done, it has the weather caps. You put the weather cap on there, and you know no dirt's going to get in there. So you can take it to the beach. You can take it and just throw it on the ground real fast and not worry about it. Drag it across the ground as you're winding it back up. I love that, but I am probably going to take your advice and get a cable made. I'm probably going to do 10 feet just to have a little wiggle room with the BNC and two PL259. PL259, did I say that right? Yeah. So I don't have to get an adapter anytime I want to use it because I'm just carrying adapters around right now.
That ABR coax I have with the BNC on one end and PL259 on the other. It's nice having that. So you can. I got that coax, and I've got another piece of ABR, the one that came with the Impasse 2.0, which has PL259s on both ends, and then my buddy pole has BNCs on both ends. So no matter what radio and/or antenna combo I'm using, I've got a coax for everything, where I don't have to have an adapter. So that's nice.
So I'm going to take that idea because majority of my NFEDs all use the BNC connector, and I really like it. But you're always having to carry around the adapter because all the radios have the PL259 on it. So I'm going to steal that idea, and I'm going to have a cable made down there, which I guess will be the second thing I'll buy at a Hamfest. Yay!
Frank, you need to buy some more small stuff at the swap meets.
Yeah, I do. If I see another train set, I'll go for it.
Get you some capacitors or something.
That's another train set.
Hey, I got a Lionel train.
I know. I know. Very true.
Well, kind of hit at the halfway point here, so let's go ahead and I'd like to open up to the chat and just kind of do a just see what y'all want to know and do an AMA. I got a question from Ed earlier. I think it was Ed. No, Digital Dreamer. Do you still like the G90? Have you done any videos operating with it? Yes, I've done a lot of videos operating the G90 and getting it set up on the DigiRig. And that was my HF radio for a while. G90 is a great radio. The tuner in it is amazing. Jeez, the things that you can tune off that tuner. I just kind of got tired of
URP?
10 watts.
It's 20 watts,
20
but
watts, yeah.
Just to be pedantic.
Yeah.
Now I got the Yaesu FTDX10.
That's a hell of a step up.
Dude, that 100 watts just smashes through power.
Well, the receive audio and then the
receiver.
filtering on the FTDX10 are like world class above that.
I keep thinking it's not that bad, but then I sniff it. Because I was just like thinking like, oh, I can take another sip of it. Nope. How many of you guys trust your YL to drive your truck? SUV, Jeeps, etc. From Digital Rancher.
My wife can drive it, no problem.
Yeah. Same. She doesn't like to, but she can. She's driven it before.
Yours is a manual, Jason.
When Emily and I started dating, she had a manual Jeep Wrangler.
Ooh,
nice.
So yeah, the manual transmission part is the easy part for her. She just doesn't like driving the long truck. So, and she won't back it in anywhere. She won't back up to park it.
But is there a challenge for anyone who wants to upgrade their license? It's the Ham Radio Clubhouse challenge.
Yes.
Jason's working on it. He's going to go for his extra.
Extra by April.
Extra by April.
Extra by April is what they're calling it. Yeah,
you can do it.
Yeah.
I already just said no. It's not going to happen. Haven't even started.
My issue, and this really shouldn't be an issue, but it is that I am actually I did 1 day of studying since I said I would do extra by April. So I've done almost none. 1 is none, right?
Right.
2 is 1, and 1 is none. So I've done none. But I'm still working on my CW learning. I'm still working to learn CW. So
that's taken a long time for me.
Same here. And I don't spend as much time with that as I should, but I have been learning. I got a brand new N3ZN key at Hamcation, and we're going to be doing some more probably lunchtime live stream videos with some CW practice as soon as I get home starting in March. So, nice. So I'm almost more interested in getting my CW knowledge where I can actually transmit. Transmitting is not that difficult for me. Receiving and listening is my problem, and I'd almost rather get proficient in that before I get my extra. So I got to decide which one I want to do.
I can see it. Going to Red's question now. What are you looking at the Houston flea market?
Houston?
Well, it was at Hamvention.
Or Hamvention, okay.
Hamvention flea market.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm actually looking to go to the flea market. I didn't go last year. That is one big ham fest.
It will take you a solid day to walk the flea market, and that's not perusing and taking in. That's just glancing. No. Oh, maybe that. If you want to physically look at the tables, it's going to be longer than that. That's a big flea market.
I went to the flea market last year, and I did a live stream walking through the flea market, which took me about it was just over an hour, maybe an hour and 10 or 15 minutes, something like that. And I didn't see everything. But there's been a couple years where I didn't go to the flea market at all. Well, if it's raining, I'm like, I'm not going out there. So there's been a couple years I don't go to the flea market at all. I like to go to the flea market, but it's not high on my priority list. However, to answer Charlie's question, I am not looking for anything specific. I'm looking for that thing that's sitting on a table that I don't know that I need yet. So that's very well priced.
Like the 705 go bag that you got.
That's a good one.
Yes.
That's a really good one. That's a really good example. Yeah.
I didn't want to take it home on the plane, or I probably would have given it some serious consideration.
I didn't take it home on the plane. I had Gigapart ship it to me. I gave them a box of stuff. I'm like, can you just ship this to me? I'll send you a shipping label. And they're like, yeah. So because they were driving anyway. But yeah, that is one thing. Yeah, I don't know what I'm looking for until I see it, and I say, okay, what is that? That's what I thought. How much is it? And I make a decision at that time where I want to buy it or not.
Look who popped up in the chat. It's green with you. The door chick. True story.
I'm used to looking at her name in blue.
Yeah. We'll make her blue. Okay, you can do that from the pop-out chat now. Add to moderator. Haha.
Nice.
I'm gonna be looking for whatever catches my eye. Maybe another train. I just saw that and I had to buy it.
Maybe. No. If you see a train, you're gonna buy it.
Yeah.
I know.
Did you see at the Hamcation they had a train crossing light? It was a giant red light, and I was looking at it. It's like, that's a train light. Well,
in the flea market building?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it was outside. It was outside.
Was it outside? Okay.
Yeah. In the flea market, they had the giant antenna light, glass tubes thing.
Okay.
But he wanted $90, and I was like, I don't even know how I'm going to get that home.
No.
I was really close to buying that and having it back here and just blinking.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
That would be fun. Yeah, I think I've seen guys sell stuff like that at Hamcation before.
A question about Hamcation: is the flea market open on Friday, or is it just a Saturday Sunday thing? I think it's the Home Ham Fest.
It's the whole time.
Yeah.
Whole time.
Real trains over up here. Yep. Trains are awesome. I wish I lived closer to a train yard so I can listen to the traffic.
That'd be pretty cool.
I was actually looking around our area, and a lot of them started switching to digital modes. Bummer. Any other questions? I'm scrolling up here. Or do y'all have anything to talk about?
I got a lot to talk about, but I'm going to talk about it on my channel.
Yeah.
Here, starting in 20 minutes.
20 minutes coming up. Throw the Discords out there. Cool.
Did you upload your logs from yesterday yet, Frank?
No, I just found the one contact that my logger, my computer decided to turn off.
Oh, right.
And I lost him. So I found that I need to append the logs, him in there, and I'll go ahead and upload them. I thought about, can I wait a day until my name pops up on there as the last guy to activate? But it's like, oh no, wait, these are timed encoded.
No,
yeah, they're dated. Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
Nope, that's still horrible. Oh,
Ed wants to know, where does Tank come from?
Tank, it was a college thing. In college, I got the nickname Frank the Tank, pretty much for the same reasons.
From that movie.
From the movie. And I just liked that moniker. And when I started doing radio, I was trying to think up of names, and Tank Radio just resonated with me. And tanks are awesome too, so I have a passion for tanks. What are good books to get a general and extra? That's a good question. What books do you recommend for a general or extra?
I used both of the ARL books, and then what's his name has one? Gordon West.
W5YI.
Yeah.
Gordo's book is the W5YI book. That's the ones that I use.
Yeah, but that's not Gordon's call sign. He's W.
No.
away.
Right.
Just for asking.
Correct.
Not
correct. But he wrote the W5YI books. He writes those for those guys. So yeah, WB6NOA. Yeah, you're right on that.
I tell you, Gordon was at Quartz Fest, and I recorded him doing the antenna talk, and I chickened out for going up there and saying hello.
Oh, he's super friendly. He's like one of those friendly people on the planet.
I know.
Yeah, he is.
While we're talking about studying for tech in general, one of the best things you can do is get on the air during a state QSO party or something with a local ham club member or a friend of yours who's already got a general, operate under their call sign, and so much of it will just click in your head that didn't make any sense before. Like, why are you only able to go down to the bottom of the band minus 3 kilohertz? It makes sense when you're actually operating. Oh, my signal goes 3 kilohertz below where I'm centered on my VFO. That's why. Stuff like that didn't make sense until I did it.
I agree with that.
True.
Especially just join the hobby and get
set
into
that
that
hook,
hand
too.
club.
Right.
Operating HF, I really didn't get the bug to get on HF until I started doing field day events.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, all that reasoning kind of comes into play. Like, that's why.
Maximum usable frequency. Why can't I transmit on 160 in the middle of the morning? Stuff like that, because it ain't there.
Right.
The other thing that didn't click until I kind of started working the radio. Oh, I lost it. It's gone. I literally had it in my head.
Oh, okay.
I forgot what it was.
Frank, I need to drop.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Okay.
We got this.
Get
Thank
ready
you.
for. Yep.
Thanks. See you guys
later. I see you there in a bit too. Any other than yourself? Who is your favorite ham YouTuber? And
what's going on with your screen, man? Fix that.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Transition to the better one. Blue side by side.
Get my best side in.
There we go.
Who's your favorite ham YouTuber other than Tank? Well, that's an obvious question now that it's just me and you.
Yeah. T.O. Right there.
Temporarily offline ham radio. That's me.
Stirring up controversy. Just scrolling through here. I was trying to remember what I was going to say. This is irritating me.
What were you going to say about what?
I don't
Studying
know.
for general?
Studying for general, things didn't click until I started operating radio. There was, like you said, that was it. Upper and lower sideband. The arbitrariness of, at this point, we go to upper sideband and the lower sideband.
It's not arbitrary. There is a reason, and I can't tell you what it is because I don't remember. But there is a reason.
A lot of the reason I think I dug into it was just like at one time, it was easier to do the upper sideband because there was less losses due to tubes and things. And then over time, as we got out of tubes, then it's just became it's tradition. We do it.
Yeah, I mean, you can do lower sideband. Like 14105 is lower sideband on 20 meters. You can do it. There's nothing that says you can't. But there was, at the time that it was set, there was a meaningful, useful, real reason for it that I have totally forgotten because, you don't, like, it's trivia.
Yeah. But it's still very important. I do like how most radios that will, if you tune to it, it will jump to the correct sideband, and that helps me out a lot. So
the X6100 owner, R1 CBU, has made a new firmware totally from the ground up, from scratch, no Zygu code required.
Ooh.
And as you tune down to the CW portion, it automatically changes to CW mode and turns on the CW decoder for you. It's like, this radio knows I'm in CW portion of the band. This is awesome.
That's pretty cool. It just goes right to it.
Yeah.
And then if this knows the frequency, it just switches. I can see that. That's easy.
Yeah, I gotta get his newer version with the CW decoder on and listen.
I keep going back to that whiskey thinking like I want some.
Yeah.
The smell it, I was like, it's a little sweet. Okay, that's fine.
So is it the mango or the habanero that's the problem? I know you don't have any problem with spicy food, but like, which one of the two is the worst part?
Off the bat, it's too sweet. It's just the mango.
Whiskey's not supposed to be sweet.
Yeah, it's very, very sweet. So that's the first kind of the sour face. The second is the aromatics with the habanero. So the alcohol evaporating when it hits your mouth, because your mouth is much harder than the area and the temperature of the drink. So the alcohol will start to evaporate much faster. That's where you get the aromatics, and the habanero is just coming with that, and it's going up into the back of your throat and your nose. And you're like, what's up, Smoking Ape? Not much.
We kicked Jason out.
Yeah,
now the show's going to get real.
Yes, real talk. Let's
Buckle
talk
up,
about
everybody.
Jason. He was activating, and when I was turned on my radio, I didn't hear him bleeding over to my band, and he was working on 17 at the time. So I was like, I think that's off enough. So I keyed up on 20. He's like, oh, you're bleeding over here. Oh man, we need the filters. Brian, I am drinking. I'm
This
being
stuff is
forced to drink if for super chats.
Highly recommended. Everybody
There.
should sample this.
Habanero bourbon whiskey. Is it bourbon? Just
Mango
whiskey.
habanero.
Mango habanero. Got it from a Christmas present from Gatlinburg. Huh, that's kind of cool. And I decided to save it for the stream. It would be a fun super chat thing if I didn't like it, and I kind of don't like it. Hex. Ask Mike about the reasoning for Upmer's host sideband. He can explain the history. I believe it was due to old Collins sets.
I don't know if you know this, but your comments are getting cut off at the bottom.
Yeah. I kept changing it and I couldn't get it right. I need to fix it. Auto 45. I'm hope Ape will go to Houston Hamfest and be wearing a Buc-ee's onesie.
Oh, that would be awesome.
That was really surprised. I don't remember if I said this on this stream, but when Smoking 8 came up to me, he comes up to me, Frank. I'm like, 8?
What?
Yeah, I was like, you're real? I was just taken back. I was shocked, man. I was starstruck.
You have physical presence.
Yes. It was awesome. And yet he still didn't tell me his call sign.
That's because he doesn't have one. It's really easy for him not to let that secret slide.
He has something, so he was operating with the y'all's Toads call sign.
Yeah, he's operated with the Toads call sign. Might not be illegal, I don't know. And then he's also, if you do catch him on the air, he'll use like the street number, like a CB handle, like a house.
I'm sure he's legit. He did not have his badge on at the Hamcation because I was going to eye his badge because they write it on there too.
Shocker.
He had it in his backpack. I did it again.
It was great to meet you, Frank. Yeah, like don't forget your drinking, Frank.
Brian, thank you for the super chat.
Watermelon whiskey. Peanut butter whiskey. That was the good one at
I did not like that one. Ooh.
Oh, you got another super chat from Hexmare.
Oh, Hex. Damn you.
I think he might have paid enough for 2 shots.
I know, Hex.
Look at me stirring the pot because I have to drink that.
No, the peanut butter whiskey was too sweet for me, but Jason and everyone else loved it, and so that was still the choice there.
Yeah.
I bought Eagle Rare that time.
I think Buc-ee's, imagine Wawa, but like 4 times the size. So that kind of makes sense. Maybe even a little bit bigger than 4 times the size.
I don't want to. Hex,
60,000 square foot. Hold your nose.
I need a chaser. The first time I actually want a chaser. Buc-ee's. Coming up on my video. Tomorrow's dropping Out of Cycle. Just had to put it out there because the following video has to be Houston Hamfest. It burns, and I don't like it.
David wants a sip.
Okay.
He sent you a $2 super chat. That's a sip.
Buc-ee's is pretty cool. I hate going to it just for the reason I hate going to Walmart. I hate the people who are parked there, and I feel like I'm about to get my car hit every time. But after I get into the store, it's fine. It's fun. I'm on keto right now, and I can't drink the Slurpees, so it's kind of painful walking in there. And they have a lot.
Says the guy drinking mango whiskey.
Well, it's whiskey.
Yes.
David, this is for you. Thank you. No, how much for the bottle? No, I got to work tomorrow. I love y'all.
You can buy the bottle for $50.
Yeah, YouTube does not support me. Um,
No, YouTube ads do not pay a whole heck of a lot.
no.
It's kind of shocking. You'll have a video, you're like, oh man, this video's got an amazing amount of views. What did I earn? $13.
YouTube shorts. Hey, this short, I had a short that almost went 15,000 views. How much did it make? 0.05 cents. Yay. So I do shorts for the love. Help promote the community and fun. Jason is asked, have any experienced shots put me to sleep? Remember the stuff of the habanero work. People like Bucky's, Walmart. Hex, dude. All right, this is the last one for you, Hex. Raise this up. No more. Ah, I'm gonna regret saying this. I was gonna do that. What's going on your channel, man?
So I am plugging away. I got a couple of radios that I am doing some, full, series of updates on. I'm building an ADSB, which is, tracking flights overhead, automated something beacon. I forget what ADSB stands for. Actually, I don't forget. I just never knew. And I'm building a little go box for it that will enable you to set the thing up, and then wherever you go, it's going to figure out where you are, and it's going to set up its own Wi-Fi access point and its own web server, and then you can just see the planes that are overhead of where you currently happen to have turned the box on. I mean, you can leave it at home and it'll do the same thing, but you can also take it with you. So like if you're going to like field day or winter field day or ham fest or something that might be like ham radio adjacent, or if you're going to Oshkosh, you can stick it on top of your RV. So it's a weatherproof enclosure and solving the problems as they come up. That's where I got that battery pack from that I took to Hamcation. It's for that kit, but I needed a travel battery, and it's like, okay, this will power my QRP radio. It'll recharge my cell phones. It'll charge up my laptop, and I don't need to take 17 batteries. And like, okay, how long does it last on a QRP radio? So 10 watt FT8 for 7 hours.
Ooh.
Out of a 20,000 milliamp hour battery, but it's a 20,000 milliamp hour cell phone battery pack. So it's, 5 volts, blah, blah, blah. And then we're trying to run it at 12 volts for radios. So cut that in half and you get about 7 hours. It's not bad at all. I was like, wow, this is amazing.
That's nice. They did have at the Hamcation, the guys who make those devices there at the booth. The ABS radio kits.
Oh yeah. ADSB Exchange guys. Yeah, Brian. That's actually where I got the dongles from. I got them from Brian at Hamvention last year. Did a couple of live streams getting everything set up, and then now I'm doing a couple of individual short videos to build this kit out because why not? It's fun.
And that's on my list of things to build and utilize because that seems like fun. Plus, I'm by one of the most busiest airports here in the States. So all the traffic, I can just hit my house. I would love to put that antenna on top of my house, but running the cable, it might be a little much.
You'd be surprised what you could get just having, like, I have it sitting on my desk next to me, and I will get airplanes flying overhead. I am northeast of Minneapolis-St. Paul Airport, so not a lot of traffic comes northeast, but I still get a bunch of planes overhead. I get a lot of Cessnas from regional airports. I get the medevac helicopters that go overhead, and then putting the antenna outside or building a higher gain antenna is even better. And so I've got provisions for doing that. I've got a mag mount 1090 antenna that I can use with this kit. So, and it also does ACARS, which is just another way of getting data out of the airplanes. And you can get like refueling requests, or we need more beverages for the beverage cart kind of stuff. It's kind of like text messaging for like airplanes to control towers or whatnot.
Yeah, that's cool. I want to do that project. And I got the build coming up on my channel for setting up the Radio Shack. I'm gonna be buying the antenna base. I found the one I wanted to rotate on the top of my house, and then I got all the cables next to Messi and Poloni, which are moved behind me, and I just need a couple of junction boxes, grounding plates, all the easy stuff now, and a bunch of grounding rods. So that's going to be coming up. I can't wait. I need to actually schedule it and buy the last of the stuff. But that's about it. So I think this is a good point. We'll go ahead and wrap it up here. Steve, if you want to take it away and tell us where can we find you and anything else you want to shout out.
Sure. I'll do the tank thing. Howdy, everybody. This is Steve, KM9G. You can find me on YouTube at Temporarily Offline Ham Radio. And I do all kinds of crazy stuff with, taking radios and making them do things they're not supposed to do, or Raspberry Pis and making them do things they're not supposed to do, or antennas and making them do things they're not supposed to do. And that's kind of, I just have fun in the hobby and share it all along with all of y'all as we go along. And people think that I do pretty good on tutorials. So I keep doing tutorials on different things. So there we go. That's it. Back to you, Frank.
Very much. I appreciate you coming in the last second and helping out with the stream. It's very, very appreciated. I need to come onto your stream.
You do. We do Monday Night Nuggets, and Monday Night Nuggets is like, we don't know what we're doing, but let's all figure it out together. So we hang out for like an hour and a half on Monday nights. Consider it your virtual club meeting where we do awesome stuff instead of argue about who paid the dues or who didn't.
Probably on that didn't list.
Yeah. This coming Monday, we're going to get an old Yaesu FT1000 onto FT8, and not really 100% sure how we're going to do it. And I don't actually even have the radio. So that's going to be part of it. We got a new guest coming on, and he's trying to help his dad. I'm going to get the numbers wrong, but just for reference sake, his dad's like 85 and he's, like 20 years younger than that. So he bought the radio. He's going to figure out how to do it. I'm going to help him do it. And then he's going to go work with his dad to get his dad's radio onto FT8. And that's pretty cool to me. Like awesome. Helping the old man back the way the old man helped you all those years is pretty cool.
Yeah. Once I'm ready, I think I'll come in and see if you can show me how to set up FT8 on the Yaesu radio.
On the FTDX10?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be pretty cool because there's only two things you need to do. One is the latest firmware, and two is push the FT8 preset button.
Well, then, it sounds pretty easy to me.
Yeah. I don't know how to do the firmware update, but Yaesu is notorious for having difficult firmware updates. So
well, maybe that would be the thing. We'll do it live.
Maybe we'll brick the radio live. I doubt it.
I'm trying to find actually Jason's live stream coming up. I don't see it. There it is. He has some funky picture. I'm going to blame him. What is that? He has a tie-dye picture.
Jason and tie-dye?
Yes. All right. Add redirect. Yes, we're doing this live. No, search for other channels. There. Save.
So when you click add, it's going to automatically send everybody over there?
Yeah. Just set
awesome.
that up. Thanks for joining, Steve. I really do appreciate it, and we'll definitely talk. And I want to come over and do something with you. It's been a while.
We'll make it happen. Yeah.
Yep. So thank you, and of course on Tank Radio KG5AHJ, and to all my tankers out there, go forth and conquer. Thank you to all my Patreon supporters. You can support me on Patreon. There is a link in the description below. And to all my tankers out there, go forth and conquer.